Good morning, friends. It's Tuesday, the 2nd of December, and my voice is even worse than yesterday. I've woken up, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. But you know, when you wake up and you just know you're not going to get back to sleep. So I snuck downstairs. I'm back in the playroom again, and I'm just going to catch up on some Vlogmases and read a bit of my book before the house wakes up. So I've popped on YouTube and I'm catching up with Sandy by the lakeside. I had Jules on Patreon, but then I can't record and project my Patreon onto the big screen. So I popped on YouTube and I will catch up with Sandy and then Jules, and then I'm going to read a little bit of my book. I don't think anyone's going to be up for another hour or so. So that should be plenty of time to wake up and probably have a second cup of coffee. So I did show you this last night, but I didn't say what it was about. It is set in 1954 in Washington, and it's in a boarding house. So it's all these different characters all under one roof. And for some reason, I love that, whether it's like a boarding house or an apartment block. I don't know what it is. I just find that such a enticing premise for some reason. And I also, when I drive past specifically old big buildings in my town that I know are broken up into lots of different flats, I always wonder who's living in there and what their stories are. It's really, I don't know where that comes from. But anyway, I'm really enjoying this, and it is going to be, there's a murder, it begins with a body, but you don't know who it is, and then sort of goes back, and one by one you're sort of learning about each tenant and their situation after the war, and yeah, it's really good. Anyway, I'm so sorry about my voice. I don't know what is going on. I spoke to Jan last night when he came upstairs, because he was up later than I was, and then I was still awake when he came upstairs, and he said, I didn't recognise your voice. It's like I thought some man was talking to me. Oh, but wouldn't be Vlogmas if I wasn't ill. I just pulled my knitting out of my bag and realised that last night I got to this point with my yarn, and I need to go and cake up another skein of yarn. I might just bring in my umbrella and just roll it up by hand, because I can't be bothered to do the whole machine thing, even though it's much quicker, but it's noisy. And I'm watching Sandy decorate her tree and feeling incredibly behind in terms of Christmas decorations, but it's okay because I can't do everything. It's only the 2nd of December and I'm still in the middle of decorating everything. So I'm going to just bide my time. I might get a few little bits out. We won't have a tree until sort of a week's time anyway, because we get a real tree, and so I don't want it to die by Christmas. So I'm probably just going to, I don't know which room the tree's going to go in, to be honest, because obviously it's our first Christmas here. But until then, I'm just going to do things like decorating here for the boys. I don't know if you can see, but my friend Kirsty yesterday gave the boys these little it's a wooden gingerbread man and a wooden reindeer. And then I bought this heart recently, a star rather. I hadn't planned to put it in here. But then it's just that this is the only nice room, so I thought I might as well put it in here. I need to turn it on, actually, because it's got the little lights. But and then she also got them a little penguin jelly cat and a little reindeer jelly cat that hang up. But yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is put some more Christmassy bits up here, and then, I don't know, remind myself of what we even have, because with my memory, it's a surprise every year what Christmas decorations we have, and get this room feeling nice and festive for the boys. Hopefully their other advent calendars will arrive today, maybe tomorrow, who knows. And yeah, just gradually start adding some bits in to make it feel Christmassy, even in the midst of the chaos. And then as I sort out room by room, so once the dining room's painted and put back together, Then my plan is to paint the kitchen, but I'm actually painting all the cabinets and everything as well. But I'm going to do it kind of in modules. So like one little section of cupboards from beginning to end, so that I'm not sort of taking over the entire room. That's the plan. And so that room can still stay functional. But once the dining room's back in operation, then I can get all the stuff that's sort of in the living room out of there back into the dining room. But I've also still got stuff in Jan's study to come back in here. It's all completely chaotic. So it's definitely not time for a tree, but I can make this room cozy. Johnny, and we got there just as they were all going off to assembly, which is in the bigger school, so they have to cross over the street and then walk through the grounds of the bigger school. And it's so cute. They make them all like hold on to like a long rope all together, and I got to watch him do that. It's so sweet. But the traffic this morning is nuts. I don't know what is going on, but yeah, I don't know. Good luck. Beautiful morning, and I'm sort of torn between going home and getting straight out with Trixie and going home and using the dry weather to do the sanding that I need to do in the garden, because things have to be completely dry to be sanded, and I don't want to be out there and get drizzled on and have to stop. So I don't know. I always like to get out to the woods earlier on, but it's a job that really needs doing. Anyway, seems like I'm going to have quite a nice long journey home to make my decisions, and yeah, I'll take you along either way. Trixie and I are off on a walk. She is very excited about it, and it's so beautiful out there. The sun is shining. There was a tiny bit of rain, but luckily I had brought my furniture in. Got a bit of sanding done, not nearly as much as I would like, but you know, chipping away, and yes, the woods are cooling. Just walked past the old mill, which is owned by the National Trust, but it's not like a National Trust with, like, you know, the cafe or parking or anything like that. It's just but it's really pretty. And this field here that I'm looking at now is sometimes filled with sheep, which you can actually hear from our house occasionally, which is really surprising. And they're not there right now, so they've probably gone to another field. I'm just going to let Trixie off her lead. So yeah, the walks from here, from my new place, are so beautiful. And it's quite funny really, because it was one of the things that kept us in our old house for as long as we were, was that we were worried we didn't want to lose the walks, because the walks were so pretty. But we really shouldn't have worried about it, because we didn't even know you could do this walk until we moved in. So, you know, it's just a leap of faith, isn't it? I'm going to switch the camera over and you can see the big woods I'm walking towards. In the woods that I'm heading towards, by the way, I've still got marks from my massive sanding mask. Yeah, in the woods that I'm walking towards, there's actually a really cute cafe, like literally in the middle of the woods. It's on a horse farm, and it's just in a barn, and it's like, you know, one of those like travelling coffee vans that you get. So they operate out of there, but there's seating, and they do really nice coffee. It's literally on the loop that I do most days with Trixie, but I don't go most days. But Mondays and Tuesdays, it's like they have like a self-service thing. There's no one staffing it on those days of the week, so you can't get like a real coffee. You can get like a coffee bag, and they have some food and stuff, and it's all like, yeah, it's really cute actually. But yeah, I won't go there today. I don't have time, and I like their frothy real coffees anyway. But I will take you there throughout Vlogmas, and you can see it's very cute. I'm amazed it's like, actually it's really busy. I was going to say I'm amazed it's still going, but every time I go there it's actually really busy. These are quite sort of well-known woods, and there's quite a few car parks that you can park at to walk in these woods. So I think, you know, they have a pretty good trade. But yeah, it's a really cute place. I don't think I'm going to do the longest of our routes today, just because I want to reserve some of my energy for fighting off whatever this respiratory lurgy is that I have going on. It's making me sound like somebody else. But it's definitely always better to get out if you can. I just feel like it's really good for my mental health to walk as well as my physical health. And quite often I will walk along listening to audiobooks or podcasts, and it's just such a nice kind of breakup of the day. And also there's just nothing quite as nice as seeing a tiny little dog have the time of their life.